Hello, it is Teresa from Teresa's Spot for Art, where I love sharing art from my heart and teaching you how to create a little joy in your life through some fun, simple, and quick art projects. If you cannot see, I have a heart sketched onto my surface here. This is a mixed media book. It is a 9 by 12 pad. Mixed media, 9 by 12. And then I just put this piece of plastic in here, so when I do backgrounds, I can protect the rest of the pages. Welcome, welcome, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed yet, please hit the red subscribe button so you will be notified when I go live. So I'm just picking up some red paint here. It's something I've left over. Been doing quite a bit Valentine stuff. I'm going to get out a little bit more. And I'm just working on some fun, quick projects that you can paint to for Valentine's Day. If you want to paint them with your children, if you want to make a card. Greeting cards are so expensive now. Well, they always were, but they just get higher and higher and higher. So you can do these tricks with some paint. Craft paint. I am using Folk Art multi-surface paint from Plaid Crafts. I like how it's thick and creamy. It has beautiful coverage, and it is one of my go-to paints for all my crafting and painting projects. Now, I'm not going to worry about that drip that I have there, and you will see why, because we're going to just cover that up. If I don't cover it up with the bow, I'm going to end up covering it up with a flower or a leaf. And so I don't get hung up about stuff like that, because it's acrylic paint. You can fix anything. So I'm going to pick up some of this. This is a deep burgundy. This is actually berry wine that I have here. I'm going to put it onto one side of my brush. I'm picking up a little bit of this floating medium to help my paint move a little bit. It's been out for a while I've been doing these things. And I'm going to just use my berry wine to the outside. And I'm going to add a little bit of shading to the outside wall of my heart. Pick up a little bit more of this floating medium. Okay. And so I've added the berry wine to one side of my brush, keeping the red on the other side. And this way I can just go in here and I can add a little bit of shading just to the outside edge of my heart. Here we go. And get some more red. And smooth out my line a little bit here. Okay. So we have our heart. We're not going to worry about that little blob there. We put a little shading to the outside, and now I'm going to wash my brush. And give it a little dry on my paper towel here. I'm going to add a few clusters of rosebuds down here on the bottom. And that is exactly how we are going to end up covering up our little blob there. Okay, I'm going to add some rosebuds up top. I'm waiting for that to dry. I'm going to add some rosebuds at the bottom. So I'm picking up some magenta and some white. I'm going to double load it onto my brush. And I'll show you how easy it is to do a very simple rosebud with like 2 strokes of paint. Magenta, white, get it onto my brush. Okay? And over here I want to cover that up, so that's where I'm going to put my first one. I'm going to stand my brush up. I'm going to push. I'm going to make an upside down U. I'm going to pick up some more paint. I'm going to do the same thing. And then scoop underneath. That's one rosebud. Again, let me fix my brush. I'm going to stand up, apply some pressure, make an upside down U, pick up some more paint, and there is another rosebud. We're going to add some leaves and some greenery to that, so it is not done yet, but that's the first time. The first place I wanted to put it was where I dropped that little dot of paint. Okay. I'm going to put a few smaller ones up here. Another little cluster. And then maybe out here. Okay. Fix my brush. We always want the fibers on our brush to be nice and flat. We don't want our boinging out. We don't want our brush to look like this with hairs everywhere, fibers everywhere. Nope. We want our brush to be nice and thin on the chisel edge and flat. And we want our hairs to be all nice and neat where they belong. Okay. I'm going to rinse my brush. I'm using about a 1/2 inch flat brush. This is a plaid folk art one stroke brush. Brushes are not uniform in sizes as far as numbers go. That's why I will often tell you whether it's a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. This is more of a 1/2 inch. This is more of a 1/4 inch. It's in between a little bit. And now I'm going to get some of this dark green and some light green on the same brush I used for my rosebuds. And I want to come in here, I want to just add in a little bit of stem to my rose petals. So I start up here and I get thicker on the end, and then I connect my stems. So I have both greens on my brush. Come up next to it, apply a little bit of pressure. Come up next to it, apply a little bit of pressure. And then the same thing for the other side. And then a couple little stems. I'm going to do the same thing up here. Start out here, add a little bit of pressure. Okay. Now I can take and wash my brush, and I'm going to add rosebuds on top of the ones that I already have. I just wanted to make sure I had the green in there. Get out a little bit more of this magenta. Load my brush with the magenta and the white again. Make sure my brush is nice and smooth. And now I'm going to add one in the front. I want to make sure that I had my leaves in the background first. Okay. And I'm going to wash my brush. I'm going to go back and do the same thing with the green that I did the first round. Pick up my light green, my dark green, load it onto my brush. Make sure my brush is nice and neat and have a really nice chisel edge. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to hug in my little rosebuds. A few down there, and that's it. Now I'm going to wash my brush again. I'm going to go to my wider brush for my bow. So I need a different paint for my bow. Get a little bit of this baby blue out that I have. Okay. I'm going to load my brush up with this baby blue. Then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to add this pink and white, whatever combination I have, to the other side of it, just to lighten it up. I have some paint laying here. I just want to use up my paint. So I have the baby blue, and then I went into this white, pink, magenta mix that I have here, just so I have a contrast for my ribbon. Okay? I'm going to start up here on my chisel edge. I'm going to come out. I'm going to apply a little pressure and then scoop in for the first side of my bow. Okay? Then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to stand up, apply a little bit of pressure, come around, and then connect. I'm going to take the same brush and I'm just going to put a little bit of a C to make the center of my bow. And now I want to do my tails. So I'm going to stand up, apply some pressure, stand up, apply some pressure, go the other way, stand up, and come out with my ribbon. And then fix my brush. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I want to push. So I'm going to push, stand up, turn, stand up, push again, and come out with the tail. What do you guys think? Easy peasy. Simple little heart, some rosebuds, and a trailing bow. Thank you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys soon.